Woodbridge Conservation Commission meeting beginning at 6:22 p.m., December 9th, 2025. Greetings, friends. And I'll turn it over to you, Sharon.
Okay. Should we, do people have the minutes? Have they looked at them?
I've looked at them.
Okay. And does anyone have any comments?
No.
Like public comment?
No, on the meetings.
On the minutes.
I do not have any comments on the meeting minutes.
Okay. I don't think I have any either. Should we,
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Our first vote.
Moving right along.
I just want to say that we are missing Valerie King and Rachel Guerrero from this meeting. Okay. Public comment. Do we have any public comment?
Yes.
Oh, we have a public comment.
Right.
She's here. Val's here. Val's here.
Oh.
Give her a minute to sit down. Sorry I'm late, everybody.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Everybody's right here.
Yeah, please.
It gives us all a chance to eat our holiday festivities.
Do you want any food? Do you want any dessert or anything before we go?
I want some popcorn. So
Perfect, this should be fun to watch. Okay,
Yeah, that's
we're
what the
moving on
audience
to
does.
public comment.
So, good evening, my name is Amy Morella. I live at 184 Rimney Road, and I am now a member of the Board of Selectmen-elect. I wanted to first thank you for your dedication, especially those of you who are finishing up your terms at the end of 2025. And applaud you for the 2 years that I've been paying attention to all your work on both the plan of conservation and development and on the consultants' input on the country club for Woodbridge. I also would ask, as a member of the Board of Selectmen-elect, who will be carrying on these topics, especially what to do with the CCW, the Country Club of Woodbridge, that you all weigh in formally as to what you think the path should be for the town going forward. You have the benefit of having been deeply involved for the last 2 years, and I think the public deserves to know what you all think. It's unfortunate that where we are is there were these multiple options, A, B, C, A prime, etc., and the consultant came back with a recommendation, but the Board of Selectmen has yet to vote. At some point, I would anticipate that the new Board of Selectmen, starting in January 2026, will have to take a vote in order for the town to go in a certain direction, and therefore it would be very helpful for your commission to have weighed in based on your deep involvement in the last 2 years. So that is my request, as well as my thanks for all your efforts.
Thank you. I was at the TPZ meeting last night, and it was represented. It wasn't clear at that meeting that the Board of Selectmen hadn't approved this, and it's going into the POCD in kind of a context that they have, and I thought you, as a Board of Selectmen-elect, might want to.
As if it had been approved by the Board of Selectmen, because there has been no formal vote.
Right, so I just,
Yeah.
it wasn't clear to me that they understood that.
Okay, well, that's something that I'll add that's to my to-do list. Thank you very much for letting me know.
Thank you for coming and making the time.
Thank you.
We look
Sure.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. Any other public comment?
2 public comment.
Wow. Hold on, we could have a third. We do have a third potential. Okay, go ahead.
So I just
Please
wanna-
introduce yourself and your
Oh, I'm
address. Your name and your
sorry.
address, thank you.
I'm Joy Prudhomme, and I'm at 21 Barbary Lane. And I just want to thank you all so much. As you all know, I was part of this group up until April of this year, and I have a special appreciation for all the hard work and the frustration that you've gone through over this past year, but really even longer than that. especially in regards to the POCD and the TAC and the Country Club Master Plan. And I know that with this incoming administration, unfortunately, the term is going to be ending for some of you, and I know that that is worrisome about the future of this commission, but I just want you all to know that I haven't gone away. The people are still here, and we're going to do everything we can to hold you up and support you. It's a very important work that you are being charged with here, and I don't know that this new leadership is going to have the balanced approach that I believe is needed for making very important land use decisions in our town. So I just want you all to know that I am offering that, and I will be here. I will get you an army. I'll get you whatever you need to keep fighting for the land here in Woodridge. I also, looking at the Country Club plan in particular and the next steps, if you go and you read the plan, there's a lot of things that they're saying are going to happen right away, such as establishing a Friends of group, engaging volunteer programs and activities, which include, dealing with the invasive species removal. So these are all things that we had talked about on the commission, and I think it wouldn't be a waste of time to sort of get ahead of that and be able to be at the table and say, we already have a plan for that. So, there's also a lot of other things that are coming up, like environmental assessments, and really what I feel is the most important one, which is exploring the conservation easement or covenant for that particular property and making sure that that happens. So again, I am not going away, and I've got friends, and Diana might have some free time, and so
So might Val.
We'll be
We'll
doing.
find out.
We'll be. You're not alone. We'll be doing everything we can to make your jobs easier. I just want to thank every one of you for all of your brilliance and all of your passion and all of your hard work and commitment, and keep the fight. Okay?
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you, Joy.
It was really lovely working with you, both on and off the commission.
I think that's it.
Any
for
other public comment? Okay.
What's happening? Is there any what's happening?
Right now outside with the fire department?
No, any
Oh,
of
I
the
have
town
one.
thing?
January 10th is Volunteer Fair Saturday. I think it's at the Center Gym.
Is
But,
that, I thought it was sponsored by the library? Is
Yes,
that-
it is.
okay, yeah, so.
That's great. Can you explain that to people who might watch this?
Yeah, so I think it's various volunteer organizations around town. So, what caught my eye was I think there's different conservation organizations there, but I imagine there's other organizations as well. So if you want to help out the town, if you have special skills that you think could be useful to the town, or you just want to have some good community, get to know people, you can go to the volunteer fair and just talk to the different organizations and find one that fits you and volunteer.
I think that's such a good idea. Yeah, I think that's such a good idea. Is there a way that we can each personally promote it, but maybe we can have some thoughts about how we can, it's such a great way of getting people mobilized by having a fair that focuses on it and stuff, so.
Yeah, there should be, I think there should be about 30 organizations there.
30 organizations.
If they all sign up. You have things like the Friends of the Library.
Yeah.
Or the Historical Society, or the
It's a great way to just learn about the town too.
So,
Even if you don't want to volunteer at this moment, it's a great idea to just go see it. The 10th, what time is it?
I'm not sure.
It's, I think, 11 to 3 or something. It's about 4 hours.
So it's a Saturday?
It's a Saturday. It's the
Yeah.
10th.
Great.
I mean, we could even have a
And-
table if we wanted,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, because we are looking for people.
Yeah, especially
We
for
can have a
invasive
table
species and stuff. It's a great
solicit-
idea.
Solicit people to help us with doing things. So
Where's my thing?
Do you need a pen?
we just need to
I can use
sign up.
So maybe we could just have a. Thank you, sir. So, what's it called, volunteer?
And is it the volunteer
I
fair?
think it's the
downstairs,
volunteer fair.
Fair?
Yeah, that's what I have written down, the volunteer fair,
Okay.
January
great.
10th.
Okay, great.
Coming up a little bit before January 10th, the Sustainability Committee is hosting on December 13th from 11 to 4 a.m. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sorry for all you late night owls. So from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on December 13th, there is going to be a re-gift shop. So you can have gifts that you've been given that maybe you did not have a use for. You can bring them in and drop them off. And if you are looking for a gift for someone, you can come on in and grab one.
What was
So
that
it
date
is
again?
December 13th.
Can you drop them off before that date if you're not going to be around that day?
Yes, you can drop off at the information desk.
Again, the library.
Library. That's funny because this one, oh yeah, Free Cycle has a library. Drop off at the information desk between December 8th and 12th. So you've got 3 more days to do it. So if you're
great.
looking for something, re-giftable items that are unused, gift bags, wrapping paper, tissue paper, ribbons, all sorts of
Great.
goodies. So there's lots of great stuff that's coming out of the Sustainability Committee, and I encourage everybody to check it out.
Can you send us all that email?
It's on Facebook, but yes, I can try. And they will have some more. I'm trying to find the other. The other post. If you give me a second, I can give you another one. We have a bunch of. A bunch of events that are coming up. We had a great energy saving workshop last weekend. We had 3 whole people there, but they were dedicated to learning and doing stuff, so that was great. So February 7th, there's going to be a lecture at the library at 3 p.m. on compost as well.
Great.
And January 28th, there's going to be a lecture from Recycle Connecticut. That will be at NEPCO with trivia on what's in, what's out of your recycling bin. So come on down. Also at the January 28th Recycle lecture at NEPCO, we'll be doing a free cycle for formal and prom wear.
Ah,
So people can come down and check that out for their students who
good
may
idea.
be, students who may be going to Barbara's going to prom. All right.
She'd look great.
Yeah. All right. So there's more on the educational series online. So
Okay.
that's
So,
what's happening.
Shall we move on to old business?
I just want to
Oh,
mention one thing. I mentioned at the last meeting, but I want to mention it again, the 29th. Again, in the library, a lecture on the Leatherman. The Leatherman. Which I think, since we have a
At what
sign
time?
up for him,
That was January what?
29th,
The
January
29th
or
now.
December?
January.
January.
Okay. Great.
Which is a Thursday. Yep, Thursday.
Okay.
That's exciting. Ben's kids will be there.
They're Leatherman fans.
Old business? The DEEP Trails Grant, General Financial Report, Patches Project. So I can give you a general financial report and start the conversation about patches. We have $1,800 left in the grant, and we have till November 2027 to utilize it. And it can be used for educational purposes and informational purposes. And one of Barbara and I idea is to have patches made that if people have gone to all 14 different sites, can take pictures of them, they can come to someone yet to be figured out at the town hall who can give them a patch in recognition of their efforts. And we thought that would be a way to spend a small portion of those funds. And we have a patch designed.
Computer.
Let me see if I have
Really
it.
pretty.
Yeah, I think it works pretty well.
Stay tuned for the next meeting where the patch will be unveiled.
Hold on. I might have it.
Yeah, and we thought to kind of make it a little, bring in the school again. Try and make it a little contest for the kids to go out.
Yeah, that's fun.
Get
I have
their-
no cell phone coverage.
So my son is in Cub Scouts too, so that would be a great scouting event to find some of those. And
a great one.
Cub Scouts love patches, so those kind of go
Right.
hand in hand.
There's also a pancake breakfast for the Scouts on Saturday
Oh,
at First Church.
Oh, really?
It's a fundraiser for our local, what is it, 907? 903?
Oh, yeah, I don't know troop numbers.
There's 3 troops in Woodbridge.
I think the patch, to describe it, has Woodbridge, town of Woodbridge around, and it has 4 people. Explorers, and it has 4 people hiking.
Oh,
And
okay.
little. And we
You know,
thought
I
of
do a
trying-
better job with a demonstration. Could you do this in expressional dance for us?
People have a backpack, they have anything to help you understand.
Appreciate that.
And so I think in the year to come, we can come up with some, so I have to do a report every 3 months. So I'd be willing to be done with those reports, but I also think it's worth having that $1,800 to be utilizing. So maybe in January, maybe we could put this on a thing to explore,
Talk about some other ideas.
yeah, other ideas.
Yeah, ways to get the word out, because especially around Earth Day, maybe you can lead a couple of little hikes down to, I mean, you know, if you start with like a passport book, if you were to order some of those, I can't remember how many, things they need, where they can take a picture or whatever of it. But if they have that, then you do town hall, and then if there's another one in the area close enough.
There aren't that many right in the center of town. There's one at the school, the old school.
On Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah. So you could, I don't know, you could at least bring people over to where the site is at Town Hall.
Okay, yeah. Right, so, okay, that's worth exploring.
Can we link this with, do we still have the Woodbridge News and?
We do online. Yeah.
And also, it's been promoted in a couple articles.
Okay, good.
Is there anything else to say about that? Shall we move on? There's the Blue Trails subdivision update. I have a little to say about that, but not much. I think their intention is to give a fair amount of land of the 36 acres, like 15 acres, to open space. And I think they're trying to figure out what the best way to protect it is, and they're talking to they had I don't know the results of it, they had a wetlands visit last month. And I know that Tim Austin was wanting to make sure and talk with wetlands to make sure that where the blue trail that is in existence is being protected. So I should find out about that. But I think it's still being
Sorry,
figured
and
out.
Tim Austin is working on that?
Yeah, he's working with the trail. He does a lot with the trail, so he's working on making sure that the trail is maintained or changed and whatever, so the trail exists even once the subdivision is approved.
Was that also something along, there was some murmuring about the utility trails, for the trails that were,
I think I wasn't here for that.
was through the area that hadn't been
Yes.
maintained?
Yes, I can attest
Like
that.
recently,
Because
that's
I want that
the
trail
water
that's
company
poorly
that had
maintained.
emailed us. I forget who did, even reason I didn't respond to it. Our sincere apologies to John Triana, because we did read your email twice, and we forgot to respond to you. But he was letting us know that this is along that area. There's a field there, the Whitbridge Greenery Trail cuts through the field. And there had been some downed trees in some other area. A huge tree in the trail may have been diverted around it. The diversion goes through a wetter area, and they wanted to meet at the field to look to make sure that the lands were getting in there, but I'm not sure if it's the
Why
same
don't you and
property.
I talk about it, respond the next day or so to that? Maybe Tim is.
Okay.
Tim is away right now, but he might be a good person.
Did you get any indication of to whom they want to?
I think both, I know, I don't really have an idea. I know that we spoke to them. I think that they have been in touch with Brian Pines. And I think Nicole has spoken to them also. So I don't know where they are in their decision making about that.
So this could be an interesting model of how we do the country club easement as well. You know, like let's see how this works out.
Well, maybe we should try to talk to Nicole and try to coordinate with her.
Well, I may have brought this up before, but that's pretty much what Massaro is. It's owned by the town, but the easement is owned by both the town and the trust. So each one covers the other.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's a very good idea.
Is that a different Rachel?
No.
So who's the gentleman that is looking at doing the easement on the land? What was his
Justin.
name? Justin.
Raffoni.
Justin Raffoni.
So I thought it was just really great how he came in and is really trying to do this the right way. And it just got me thinking, you know, from a bigger picture perspective, like maybe we could think about giving out like a conservationist of the year award or something like that. You know,
That's
like
a nice idea.
you know, because there are people that really are doing great things for conservation, and it would be great to recognize, you know, one or more of them every year and just say like, hey, we really appreciate what you're doing. And, you know, because I don't know what inspired him to do this, but you know, it's really great, and I feel like people like him need some recognition.
And Andy too. What's that his name?
Andy Denzig?
And Dick Dedzig, the trail
Yes,
master?
yes.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it's
maybe
a nice.
another one. Yeah, but yeah, so I think that would be a nice thing that we could do.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Wonder if it could be any part of the DEEP grant for trails. People who are, I don't know.
Maintaining.
Right.
Great. Well, yeah, because, sorry.
That's right.
Because I thought Justin Raffone had said something about the property having some significant site on there. No?
It is an NDDB site, like from the map, from a macro perspective.
And NDBB is,
Has
stands for?
you know, that's the Connecticut, the CT Deep Natural Diversity Database, where they found some sort of species there that is rare or
It is a
endangered.
site?
It is, yeah. So, but he had,
He was walking with a
yeah,
forester, David.
Irvin walked it, and so David's report is going to be the report of record. So
Sure.
you know, whatever's on there, I'm sure that's. But yeah, so it is an important piece of land that he's looking to put an easement on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so from a Blue Trails perspective and from a biodiversity perspective.
And because it's contiguous with lots of other land too.
Yeah, from
So-
a corridor or landscape perspective.
And also
yeah.
it's near that whole reservoir area, which makes it more valuable too. Should we move on?
I just want to say, I think that we have quite a few people who have been members of conservation who are no longer, who are still very interested. And if somehow we can kind of incorporate, even though we may not be on the commission, we still have an interest in conservation. And we still see people who still have an interest in conservation coming to our meetings and being very vocal and being very much a
Despite
part of it.
their exile.
And it just, you know, and just based on what you're saying, it would be nice to have maybe a Friends of Conservation, or just a little group like we have. We're forming a group here, even though we're not all on the commission. And somehow,
That's a great idea.
Friends of the Conservation
Yeah.
Commission.
yeah.
That's,
Yes.
that's brilliant, actually.
Write that down.
Yeah, I love that.
Val, you can head it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be probably one of them, but
And then for people with less time, they can be friends of the
They have
conservation.
friends. Asking for a friend.
Distant relatives of friends of conservation.
Associates of Friends of Conservation.
Actually, it might even
I
be
love
something
it,
that
Val.
people would want to give a little money to, and it could be used for just for invasive species removal or something like that. So you could, you know,
I mean, they're brilliant people, they're creative, you know, they have an interest. We should, this
Well,
committee
you
should,
know,
you know, use
All
them.
former.
Utilize the
conservation
resources you
members.
have, right?
Yeah.
That's a really great idea.
and I was thinking about that in terms of what you're saying, because, you know, once there's legislation that is for housing, there's all these people that have economic interest in creating housing, whether it's cement makers or sheetrock, or, you know, there's an economic incentive to perpetuate the building aspect. Trees and shrubs don't have that kind of support. They don't have an economic interest, you know, they don't have a cadre of people that are then gonna further that initiative because they get benefit out of it. So having it countered by people who just love being outside in the natural environment is kind of helping to create some of that balance.
I think the word of the week should be cadre also.
Cadre.
Yeah, I think it's a good word, underutilized. You can even make a Woodbridge Conservation Day, you know, where you're,
Oh, good idea, Diane. I can't think of a better outspoken person to think of that idea.
actually in my company, one thing we do, one of our teammates is this great guy, Shane Bulick, who's just super passionate. If you think I'm passionate, I got nothing on this guy. So he brought to our company the Lorax Award. And so now,
Oh.
once a year, we recognize somebody in the company who cares a whole awful lot.
Maybe
It
that's,
does.
maybe we should adopt
Something
that
new.
for our awards. That's nice.
You can have a variety of awards,
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
or at least recognitions that you can.
Well, it's true. It's going to take more than 5 or 7 of us to do all that we know needs
Need
to
to
be
do.
done, especially since we're all working individuals. So we're like the communal concept. So now we're moving on to TPZ Commission, and I think I can give some of this report because I was at the last third or 2/3 of the Fountain Street development. What I seemed to be going on is that the lawyer was giving people the option, if they approved it, what would happen, and if they didn't approve it, what would happen. And if they don't approve it, they have to meet certain criteria so that it could sustain an approval in a court situation. If they approve it, they don't have that, I don't think they have that burden of responsibility. So he was just laying it out, not knowing how the vote was going to happen. They're meeting again on the 18th because this was lots of discussion, there's 14 points that there was some concern about, I think. I wasn't there for that part. But they're at the stage where they're going to take a vote and they're going to review, and they got more material in the past 24 hours, so they felt like they needed to look at that. So
24 hours?
in the past, that afternoon, they'd gotten more, a rebuttal from the intervener. They'd gotten some other information.
Uh-huh.
And then the second part of the meeting was the POCD. And SLR, the consulting group, had gone through and incorporated some portions of the many, many comments that had happened that people, and as well as the Board of Selectmen, weren't happy with. It wasn't clear from being an observer what exactly they were. There was some outline, but it wasn't very specific. And it seemed like the whole commission had gotten that copy. There was really no discussion except somebody wanted to add more traffic safety, and so that was added. And a little bit of change in language. And also there's a new bill called 8002 that went into effect, or was voted on in November. And Kathy Hunter very much wanted some, that alluded to. And there's a plan that the POCD was approved without very much discussion, and that they're very interested in revisiting it, not to increase the conservation part, but to increase the housing part and comply with what may or may not be the housing recommendations and mandates from the state. So that's where that is, and it seems like there could be a lot of work that needs to be done to continue to advocate for the conservation aspect of the conservation and development, because it very much isn't being highlighted from my perspective.
Do you know when we'll be able to read the newest, I guess now it's an accepted version?
Yes,
So do you
it should
know-
be online.
So we can download and read it now?
I would think within, Kathy, do you know if we've got,
Does the Board of Selectmen have to revisit it again?
no,
No, it's done.
it's done. And they did not sort of even refer to the Board of Selectmen's lack of approval of it or comment much about that.
So maybe we should take it as a to-do to read over it and see how well they incorporated the Board of Selectmen's suggestions. So we know, for example, that the Board of Selectmen voted to suggest to them that they make a committee, incorporating them and us and maybe some other people. So we know for a fact that they didn't do that because we weren't part of that committee.
Right.
So we probably want to know how well they incorporated the rest of what they did, and
The
if they,
suggestions.
yeah. So I would think that if they didn't really incorporate
Follow
much
the
of what
directive.
the Board of Selectmen said, the Board of Selectmen would probably not like the draft. So we
But
could,
they don't have any more say in it.
But I think they can suggest changes, can't they?
Well, they
I mean,
can, because it's a document that can be changed at any point.
So,
Yes,
so
that's
this,
true.
this could be something that we bring up to them after
Uh-huh.
we review it.
True.
Well, excuse me. We were at the meeting for housing, couple days ago.
Training session,
Uh-huh.
housing training.
They came up with an entirely different bill, but was it 802 or 812?
8002.
And it did not require 4-story high-rises. It was single-family houses, 4 single-family houses on an acre. That was the alternative to the 830G bill. And that was the first we heard of, that was the first I heard of it. Had anybody else heard of that? But that was entirely different, and he said this is a different bill that came. Did I misunderstand that? Is that
No,
what-
well, I know it is a different bill, and I know that Lamont wanted to make it more compatible and more flexible for towns. I mean, that was, I think, the intention that I heard was talked about.
Right,
Oh,
it-
I'm not informed about.
It had to do with single-family houses. I'm hoping it had to do with home ownership. It was not apartment buildings. We have never even been introduced to that bill. It seems like it's just one path going in one direction.
And I thought there was something about the,
Was that an update
the
in the
regions
POCD
were
they
going
wanted to
to-
put in?
I think the regions were supposed to make plans, and then
Yes.
the towns were supposed to figure out how to like align themselves with the plans.
Interface with.
But I think that plans from the regions weren't going to come out until like 2029 or something.
Yes,
So it was like
and
a
I
very
think-
long.
And it's where the towns could go off by themselves and make their own
Mhm.
plans, but they all had to have plans.
Yeah. I haven't even read a summary of it, but yeah, I don't know how much of what's in the bill now can actually be put in a tangible way into the POCD, because it sounds like the regions have to make plans, and you know, and then we have to figure out what to do about it, which is like kind of a long time horizon.
But if we had plans, not necessarily concrete already developed, but we had plans, isn't that also a strategy to say, these are our plans, we're going in this direction.
Mhm.
We're not gonna go in this direction, we don't want the 4-story, we want
Yeah, exactly.
single-family houses, so
I
that's
think-
okay, thank you for your proposal, but we have plans, it's just plans, not concrete,
Mhm.
to go in this direction. Whereas, and I think everything is just so fast, and this is the way people know it to be, and they're gonna just go in this direction, but they clearly talked of an alternative plan, which to me, I had never heard before, and anybody else can comment, but that to me was much more palatable than what they were doing.
And that wasn't like what the guy was referring to when he said a double wide, right? Like the
When he said
smaller-
what?
He said a double wide at one point. He was referring to like the type of prefabricated, like.
Oh, that was like
Oh,
a trailer park counts as
Trailer park.
affordable units. So like a trailers, like a double wide counts as an
Okay.
affordable unit.
All right, sorry, but it wasn't,
No, these, from what did you hear, I mean, I heard four houses per acre, single family. That's what I heard.
Sort of like
I didn't
Lucy
hear
Street.
that.
You didn't hear that? Did you hear that?
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean,
No, it was the second plan, and it said this is the 8-12, this is more palatable, this is an alternative. And they said we could do, because we're talking about density and housing, and so rather than do that, they said 4 single-family houses. They didn't say whether they were gonna be rented out or home ownership. And so then I went home with that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But we have never heard that part of it.
so my recommendation would be at this point to investigate that piece of it. Maybe we can reach out to Kathy Hunter and see if we can have a copy of those slides from the presentation from Halloran and Sage, and who was the
That's a
other,
good time.
the other gentleman who spoke? I don't know where he
Remember
was
the
from.
names, no.
I don't remember where he was from, though. He wasn't Halloran and Sage, he was,
there was
He was-
Mark Brantse. I think Brantz was the first one, and then Sean, I can't remember his last name, from Partnership for Strong Communities.
that was a Partnership for Strong
Oh,
Communities.
yes. And also, was it their United CT, or United CT, or United 69?
I don't know
Was
what it
it that?
was.
Yeah, it was United CT.
I don't know. But I would go back and look at the slides, and then maybe you can digest the information a little better. As it relates to the POCD, which I think that's the topic that we're on right now. Is that right?
Well, we're on responding to TPZ and items associated with TPZ, and one of them is
Right, the
POCD.
POCD. So writing a memo to TPZ and to the Board of Selectmen for tomorrow.
I feel like
Because the Board of Selectmen have a meeting tomorrow,
Yeah.
so you want to be able to get it to them, which you can then, CC all the board on when you're.
So let's have a look. I think
I think we should vote on it.
look at it.
But we have to do it by tomorrow. We have to
Yeah.
vote on it.
Well, we're writing a memo to the Board of Selectmen regarding the TPC, POCD.
Three-member group to work on it.
Okay, yeah, subcommittee to work on it, but I'm available to work on it. The point is that the Board of Selectmen requested TPC work with a subcommittee
Yeah, we
to
know they
provide
did do that.
the POCD. Well, we know that we weren't included in that.
Mhm.
We don't know if they did do that,
That's true.
so I guess we could
But they
ask them.
did say include conservation.
We
so
did, yes, so.
I at least ignored one of them.
They also
But it sounds like-
entirely ignored that the Board of Selectmen rejected
So
it, but that's
is it
fine.
that we want to let the Board of Selectmen know that we, our stance on how that the POCD is, we don't agree with the POCD at its present.
Sure. I mean,
I mean, I
they
think-
they seemed like they weren't happy with it either.
Right, so maybe that should be a memo that,
I think we need to at least read it first, though, before we say we don't agree with it.
The POCD?
Yeah, the whatever the draft was.
Well, at least that we weren't involved.
Um,
well, could a few people do that
Because-
tomorrow before the Board of Selectmen meeting?
So, yeah, let's just try to read it and then just say whether we think that they incorporated what they needed to or not.
Okay.
And then we can quickly, what time is, their meeting is tomorrow?
Yes.
And then we'll just
At 5.
quickly get a memo together.
Where would they have gotten the input from if they didn't get it from you?
Oh, from, watching our meetings.
No, they did get our input. So they were forwarded all.
Can't talk to
Oh, sorry.
Hypothetically.
Val, did you ask where did they get the input?
Yeah, I did.
They did get our input. So hypothetically, they could have done everything that we asked,
Right, okay.
So, let's just make sure we read it. And then,
Okay, so we move on to Coopop updates. Property catalog. I think we have to wait for Barbara because I think she's the one, if anyone went to a Coopop meeting, she did. So she probably knows more about Coopop with Fountain Street.
You should get the pomegranate seeds.
Yeah, I put them in my salad.
They were in your salad or in the
Yeah.
salad dressing?
In the salad.
I didn't get
the salad
those.
dressing was very good, but
Oh.
Man, I'm gonna eat that again.
So can we table Coopop until we have that member return and we'll go on to the Fitzgerald property?
Sure.
So I spoke to Karen Crosby and Tony Genovese about our budget, which we'll get to later. But this sort of dovetails with the budget. And we went on a walk of the Fitzgerald property and it became somewhat evident to us, at least from my perspective, that we need a plan for the Fitzgerald property, and a forester is the best person to do that. And they do a 10-year plan that gives us an idea of what to do. And I actually went on a walk, Alice Newton Park, where they have a forester that did a plan, and there was, they had to cut down some of the tree of heaven because it's the houses the spotted lanternfly or beetle. They, cut down some of the beech tree, anyway. So, but it's complex and involved and it requires a forester. So in my conversation with Tony Genovese, we talked about moving the funds from the equipment, because I've also heard from Tim that they have enough equipment, they have enough equipment now to being part of the forest plan, to funds for a forest plan for the Fitzgerald property. And I also asked him if he's willing to request in the budget that we have the $8,000, and he's willing to put that in the budget to request $8,000, but take some of the money we've had previously for equipment out of that, our next year budget. So I just wanted to talk to you and see how people felt about that.
wow, that's 8,000 for a forest plan for.
Fitzgerald property.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So we don't know if it will pass, but at least he's willing to communicate that. And we do have, our wonderful scribe here has had more overtime, so we have to put some of the, well, I'll save that for the budget discussion, that's more just budget. But, so anyway, so that's the Fitzgerald property, and it has some core forests which are key and have value, right, as part of the Fitzgerald property. So, can I hear whether people think that's a good idea to do that with the budget? What do you think, Val?
I love it.
Yeah, I think if we want to protect some of the precious land, that we have to have a plan for it so people understand the value of it.
Yep.
And I think actually it would be good to get the community garden people a little aware of it. Maybe we could do a little publicity about it, of how it's going to help protect that land, and they could get excited about it a little bit. So, but the Alice Newton Park, they determined after the forester. Oh, and I talked to the forester, and I made a connection with him, and he'd be a likely person to be able to do that kind of a plan too.
Great.
But it's not that healthy a forest in the Alice Newton Park, and a lot of these forests are having, between the invasive species, what happens is the understory gets affected by the invasive species and by deer browsing, and so the small saplings aren't growing up, and so there's not a lot of trees to replace the ones that are dying, and some of the ones that are dying because of different
Different
environmental
invasive species.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing, when he would take us on that walk, and Fitzgerald was talking about deer fences in
Yes.
certain areas.
That's what they're doing, the deer fence, and they're doing some cutting of specific trees, and they're doing, some of the Boy Scouts and the high school people are getting rid of some of the invasives. So we can also learn from them, especially if the same forester does it, so that we can utilize some of that same
Oh,
knowledge.
that's great. That's amazing news.
And, and there was an Audubon person there too.
Oh,
So,
who was it? Do you know?
Robin,
Did you say an Audubon or an automotive?
an Audubon,
Makes more sense.
who walks there a lot, who we can talk about.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I think we'll have to keep deferring Coupop and we'll go to new business, which we come, or there's other old business. Does anyone have any other old business?
I just wanted to,
What?
before I'm sorry, might just interject something.
Please,
I
this can be
just-
considered other old business.
Because I wanted to elaborate what I said before. I actually took a picture of it while we were there. At
The screen.
At the screen.
Okay.
Oh, good.
This
Sure.
is the alternative to the,
Alternatives to 830G on 8 to 12M incentive housing. Provide states grants subject to availability of funds to the town to identify areas for incentive housing, that's in quotes, in minimum allowable densities, 6 units per acre, for a single family detached, 10 units per acre for duplex or townhouse, 20 acres per multifamily. If a town has a population of greater than 5,000, it may request lower densities if it can show infrastructure limitations.
Wasn't that the one that he said
Doesn't that make
the
it be less
densities
than
were-
5,000?
no, more than, it's a,
If
If a town's population is-
builders wouldn't build to that or
That's why
something.
Hmm?
Was that the one where he said the builders wouldn't build to those specs, and so they couldn't actually get to work in practice? That was the alternative.
This was if a town has a population of greater than 5,000, it can request lower density limitation. If it can show infrastructure limitations, see that seems like the reverse to me, but 6 units per acre for single family, 4 units per acre for
4
single
units
family,
per
6
acre.
units for duplex, 10 units per acre for multifamily. High density requirements will make it hard to identify locations, so that's why they were
Mhm.
going, if you can show infrastructure limitations. But that's if your population is greater than.
within 5,000.
So if you can show infrastructure limitations. Alternative, you're right.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I was referring to.
That was more specific.
Probably will be easier to watch when you download the slides.
Yeah.
So, should we go to new business? And we'll come back to old business when Barbara returns. So the budget. So the budget cycle is due January 1st-ish for the 2026-27 budget. And like I said, I've talked to him about raising the amount we need for having Kathy to help us.
I get a raise once a year.
That's so exciting. Okay, so he agreed with that. And,
Well deserved.
we have the, separately, there's the deep funding that we could use for spending money. We've taken some of the money from the printing, which we didn't use, and put it towards the overrun from Kathy for this past year, but we still have $1,600 to spend between now and June 1st.
Angel have Earth Day coming up.
We'll have Earth Day coming up, that's good to remember.
Typically buy saplings.
True, and maybe we'll get somebody who knows all about that to help us. So
The other thing you could consider joining is Tree USA, coming at Tree City,
Tree USA. Okay.
which is a good designation the town can get.
Oh, okay. So that might be of interest. Is that a good information? Okay.
What about, I don't know if we could use the money for this, but the Friends of, for the Country Club Master Plan? So Joy had mentioned this, that's in the master plan. That I think that the idea is that's supposed to be a separate group from the town, right? It's But there's probably fees and stuff associated with putting together a nonprofit. That I don't know if we could use some of that to, fund
I don't know if you
fund
need
the
to
starting. Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed
make
to.
a
but-
donation or something to
Yeah,
support,
maybe the
to be a member.
the town, or something along those lines, just to sort of like get the ball rolling on that.
It's a good idea. Who do we ask, do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about nonprofits.
So,
Just know that when we get money, we just have to, earmark it for what we want it for. I don't think a donation would be bad though. But I don't know how much money we could put from a grant for one thing to, what do you think?
oh no, this
No,
isn't
this
for
isn't
the
the grant,
grant,
this
this
is
is
the
our
budget,
general
yeah.
budget.
Oh, no, but,
So just like
okay, I thought
we
would be-
had talked about doing it with, the Conservation District, Chris with the C. Sullivan.
Amy and Andrea, you can contact.
Oh,
They will help
contact
us?
Amy and Andrea, okay.
They should be able to help you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. And so I think that's the budget. It will have our secretarial fees. It'll have I think it will have some small amount of general funds, and then the forestry, possibly getting a grant or money to pay for a forester for the Fitzgerald property.
Yeah, that's major, Sharon. That's a great job.
Thanks. And
And if you need any more brochures, any hiking brochures?
well, we're getting hiking brochures.
Oh, they're the deep.
Actually, Tim is GPSed or geolocated or whatever, all 14 of the DEP grants and putting it on new maps. That's what I understand. So and I think Scrog or someone else is paying for that. So we haven't had to use our
Cool.
resources for that. I'm not positive about that. So conservation easement on the Woodbridge Country Club property. I think that Mika kind of initiated us being the people spearheading that at a meeting at the Woodbridge Democratic Town Committee meeting about something else. Or maybe it was about the plan of conservation, the plan for the Woodbridge Country Club of Woodbridge. So I think that he and Steve Munoz said, oh yeah, that's sort of the job of the Conservation Commission. So I think in the new year, do we have an interest in working on that conservation easement to make it as effective as possible for the benefit of the nature there and the environment? And I think we should maybe vote on it, or have some discussion and then vote on that, so that at least that is an agreed upon goal for the future. And there'll be new members and hopefully they'll be on board with that, but at least it's been decided by this commission that it's worth doing. What do you think?
I think it's definitely worth doing.
Okay, should we vote? No.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just say,
Do we need Barbara for the vote?
No.
so we have 4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just for any new viewers at home, just to remind everybody, the country club property is actually a really rare type of habitat all across the state. So only 3% of Connecticut is this type of habitat, and we've had 4 different organizations that have come in and said it's a very special habitat. And so we've always been pretty clear that this isn't a good place to put houses. There's other places in town that are good to put houses. And just because it's easy doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. All that being said, we've got the plan that we've got, and the plan says something like, I can't remember, they're setting aside 120 acres or something of open space, and this has been communicated in campaign material. I received a lot of that campaign material, so I think we should take what we can get, and let's protect the the open space that is defined in the plan that everybody apparently agrees on. So my vote would be yes when we vote.
And I think there's lots of ways that we can learn about to structure that. that would be most beneficial for the land and for the people, the townspeople, and we probably will have to seek some wisdom because we don't know how to write an easement.
I also want to be clear that by voting for this, I'm not agreeing that houses should be on there. I think we should still be pretty clear that we don't think they should be on there, but I think we should, if everybody agrees that this certain part should be protected, like, let's go with that, and then we can discuss the rest later. That's my thought.
That's clear. Agreed.
Shall we take a vote? Make a motion to work on the protection of the portion of the land that is not the Board of Selectmen hasn't yet voted for this plan, but in the intention, in the plan that they seem to be poised to vote on, the portion that is not going to be developed should be protected, and we would like to initiate how we can do that in the most effective way. And it seems like the Conservation Commission is the best commission to be charged with that, and we're willing to start working on that.
So I don't think that's an actual,
No.
that's not a,
That was the stuff.
That was just a
that's not
random.
a,
That was a warm-up. That was
just
a warm-up
withdraw,
motion.
Just a warm-up.
yeah, withdraw your motion for a
I would
second.
withdraw my motion.
And make that into your
Decide that one
opinion.
inside.
Yeah, make that into your opinion. Make a motion for the Conservation Commission to move forward in pursuing a conservation easement for the 130, give or take, 55 acres.
No,
to-
there's
Well, that's the whole thing, I'm
no
sorry.
120 or 30.
I just watched that.
119 or something.
I'm gonna withdraw that motion, and I'm
That was
going
your
to
warm-up?
now, somebody give me the real number.
The
Above
area that
30?
is not being presently
Yeah,
designated for development.
Right. Or the portion that has been considered for preservation.
Yes.
For conservation, okay. So make a motion for the Conservation Commission to move forward with pursuing a conservation easement to the parcel of land on the Woodbridge Country Club that has been designated for conservation,
For open space.
for open space and conservation.
I second.
All those in favor? Oh, sorry, any discussion? All those in favor?
It kind of makes it seem as if though we are agreeing with the other part taken.
Well, I think
Right.
Ben clearly said that
Yeah, I understand what
ideally.
Ben said, I understand, but that's my opinion. It just kind of seems like we're kind of acknowledging that that they can take the other part that's up for discussion right now, in my mind.
Could we put that into the motion? I don't know.
May I amend my motion? I make a motion to amend I would like to amend my motion to say to pursue conservation easements for, first, the portion of land that has been designated for open space, and then secondary, for the remainder of the parcel, or conservation easement on that as well. So take it in two phases. And that is how I amend my motion. So then you have to second that.
I second that.
Okay, thank you.
Forget.
You agree to the
I agree to the amendment.
amendment, okay.
I'm just looking at Kathy.
That's why I watched the tape later.
We know our intention, we just are working on the language. Is this a discussion, or do you want to just?
Any further discussion? So does that,
Yes.
does that feel better? Okay.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Okay. Thank you.
So there was a couple other things I wanted to talk about. I mean, maybe it's worth it to take a vote on starting this Friends of group. So that's something else that's in the plan that I
Friends of
think-
Conservation,
Yeah, no,
or-
oh, sorry, we have too many Friends of, the Friends of,
Friends of Friends?
the Friends of from the master plan. So Friends of the, I don't know, country club, I guess we can call it.
Are we supposed to be the ones though who are making, is that in our purview to start a Friends of?
I don't think that,
Was it assigned to any?
I don't
Who
think
else
it's
would
been
do it?
assigned, yeah. I mean, I think that we can either do
Maybe
it
that was-
ourselves or make sure the group that's supposed to do it does it.
Or maybe inspire their.
Or maybe ask Andrea and can we,
Can I just use the word pursue?
sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we pursue creating the Friends of Group as defined in the Country Club of Woodbridge Master Plan.
Second.
Discussion?
This does not preclude us from handing over that responsibility to some other interested group that is organized and able to do it, since we're spread a little thin. But I think that to initiate it, to investigate it, and try to see what can happen would be wise.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like we kind of initiate's probably the right word, so just get the ball rolling and then hopefully.
Yes, because
it'll
under
start
any
running itself.
circumstances, getting rid of some of those invasive species and
Would it be worth talking about pursuing a Friends of Conservation group?
I think it's a good idea.
That would include,
I like that better, actually.
would include the country club,
We don't need to compare.
etc. But it also might have other things that it might want to pursue in, as far as conservation is concerned. Or easements, I should say.
Well, I think one is specifically around the involvement of supporting a particular property of interest.
Right.
And the other can be around greater initiatives encompassing the entire town.
Exactly. But I'm wondering whether it would be better for us to be more generalized in pursuing the Friends of Conservation group.
Well, I think one is just intentional to make sure that we're involved in
Yeah.
what's going on in the country club initiative particularly.
Yeah, and it's also been defined in the plan, so it's sort of like the
Well, maybe
roadway is cleared for
we have set an intention to do it, and we have a discussion as we learn more, which would actually be the best way to do it, because obviously this is a nexus of an idea.
Yeah.
And we might even have a subgroup that, but having too many groups, too many people have to.
Right.
I don't know what the details are on the Friends of Conservation or the Friends of Woodbridge Country Club. I don't know what the purpose was of that group. Like if it was to focus on conservation, to focus on land and forest management, to focus on development, to focus on utilities. I don't know, what the purpose was of that specific group within the plan. So I think just simply by
Well, that's good.
pursuing it,
Yeah, it could encompass different visions.
yeah,
Once we actually-
pickleball and, recreation, things that
Whereas
go above and
conservation is a
beyond
little
conservation. Yeah, right, where in conservation, doing a Friends of Woodbridge Conservation, you can, have a group that specifically is, you can determine what the role and the goals and the mission are of that. So I think I would recommend continuing pursuing the Friends of the Woodbridge Country Club or Country Club of Woodbridge to determine, how you're involved and participate and included moving forward. So I think that's good. It's a good quote, the way that you laid it out. I agree with that. Does that provide?
It's a part of
A part of what you're saying.
what I think we as a commission should pursue. And it's the same thing as the former commission members, that we need to gather together all people that are interested or want to conserve more of the town. So, I just don't know whether we should focus only on that, or maybe we should focus only on that right at the moment, because it's already been talked about, or whether we should
Yeah, maybe for the
be a
purposes of
wider
voting.
thing that we then have that.
Maybe for the purposes of voting, we could just focus on the Friends of the Country Club. But then, I mean, I think the Friends of Conservation is a great idea.
How about
and
Friends
maybe
of Conservation of the Country Club? Because Friends of the Country Club
Could, as you say,
Yeah.
development,
Pickleball.
anything, it can be,
So maybe this vote is just about figuring out what that's going to look like over
Right.
the next year. You know, including Friends of Conservation, former conservation member. You know, like we'll try to figure out
Yeah.
what that
as large
organization
a
looks
tent as
like.
possible. I'm not trying to exclude anyone.
Okay.
Can you go back to something we agreed upon, I voted on? Because I want to clarify something about the Country Club of Woodbridge. Are we opposed to,
Well, hang on, right now, we're in discussion
Oh, sorry.
phase of 2 motions here about pursuing the
you're right,
Country Club of Woodbridge, Friends of Group. So, we're still on the discussion piece of that. Is there any further discussion?
So you were saying not doing Friends of Conservation?
I feel like
Yes.
it doesn't. If we vote for this now, it doesn't
preclude anything?
preclude us. It doesn't stop us from doing any other Friends of, or even
Incorporated into
incorporating the two. You know, it's just sort of like
putting a flag in
a
the,
clear thing that we're voting for now.
sort of setting our goals for the next year, that this would be something that we develop, is that
Keep your,
Friends.
you know, finger on the pulse.
I'm not opposed to that at all. I'm just wondering whether it would be a better idea to start with the big and have that as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
portion of it. You know, the focus for the next year or two, or however long it takes.
Do you think we should table this and think about it more and discuss it more next month?
My only thought, I think you can do the 2 in parallel, if I may. The only concern I have with trying to do the Conservation Friends of before the Country Club Friends of is, once you have established the Friends of Conservation, then you need to take time to develop what the mission, the purpose, the roles, and the purview of will be of that established membership. Figure out, you know, structure and everything of what that looks like, which sort of sets you back on a timeline. You can keep this one moving forward so that you have actionable items to pursue, while saying, you know, with the caveat of when the Friends of Conservation come up, this is a subset, a derivative of that.
Yeah, and that's my concern, that you have all of a sudden 2 different organizations running somewhat parallel, whereas they really should be
Together.
one organization. So,
But one of them, we don't have control over entirely as it's laid out. But maybe you're right, if they haven't voted on anything yet.
Well, that's right, we haven't voted.
Right now, it's just really pursuing, you know, what the intersection is.
yeah, and you could frame it as saying, pursuing what a Friends of the Woodbridge Country Club / conservation of the Woodbridge Country Club area. You know, that.
So maybe I could amend it to pursue a Friends of Conservation, a Friends of organization for the Woodbridge Country Club, which may include Friends of organization for the town. Something.
No.
I don't know. I mean, we could table this for now too if we want to have more discussion.
Well, I think that we definitely have interest in conserving the helping gather people who are interested in conserving the country club, and we realize there's a broader envelope which is conserving different aspects of the town, and we're still trying to figure out how
I mean,
to
this,
focus that.
so the Friends of Country Club might also be a good way to sort of focus people and get people involved, because there's a kind of a clear mission there, you know, like there's, we know there's invasives, and, but then maybe it could broaden from there, you know?
Yeah, we're not attached to keeping it
You
one
know,
title,
Yeah.
I would think.
I think that we should continue to have a lot more discussion, like we did with the last meeting with housing. I think they were a little surprised at how fervent we were and how knowledgeable we were about housing and how we had different perspectives. And I think that's what we need to keep going. I think that there's this narrative going out that either you're on the left side or the right side, and there is no meeting of the mind. It's like this is here and this is here. If I hadn't been on this committee and met everybody, I might have been over on a different side, not realizing everything. This housing issue was big. It is not just on the local level, it's on the state level, it's on the national level. I literally had to take affordable housing as part of my continuing ed last week. I had to take the course. There's a whole 1 hour. We are all mandated to take, all mortgage loan officers are mandated to take it. We had to take affordable housing, we had to take fair lending. Every year we have to take this. It is a big, big issue. And they're coming down, and what's going to happen is towns are going to change. I don't know if people realize that the look of the towns are going to change drastically. I'm into housing, but I don't agree. I just don't agree with a lot of the things. I think that they think they're doing what's best, but they're not, from my perspective. I don't know what they think they're doing. I don't know if they think they're helping minorities or African. You can either help them on an immediate basis, on a long-term basis. They're hurting a lot of people, and they don't seem to understand it. They seem to think they know what they're doing, that they're right, but on a long-term basis, I am in housing, and we're looking at the ramifications of long-term LIH, which is low-income housing. These people have no money. Anybody that didn't buy back in the 80s, they have no money. They have, I'm literally saying, nothing. They don't have 10,000, they don't have anything. They have nothing. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably join the Democratic Party. I am a Democrat, and try to go in and kind of explain some things, because things are just so polarized. I don't think they even see this group the way that they should see it. I think they see people like birds, and they're not taking, I don't think, us seriously, this committee. They don't see it that way. They just don't see you as people. They see it as, oh, those are the people that like birds. And
Or those are the people
Well, we
who
do, but
don't
we
say
have more
what we want them to
dimensions.
say.
what did you say?
I said we do like birds, but we like other things too. We're multidimensional.
Well, I don't think they're taking you, and I think that because of that, they can be dismissive. But I'm looking at it totally different than maybe anybody else is, because I've been in the business and I am trying to get people into housing. And I may not even hear about some aspects of what they're saying, but they're doing big things, and they're going to start changing a lot of towns in Connecticut. And for what? It's unfortunate. So that's what. So I just wanted to say that I won't be on this committee next year, and I really enjoyed being on it and meeting everybody. But I just feel like there needs to be more education on both sides, and on the Democratic side. It just wasn't a local thing. This is a big thing that's going on here. That's what we're kind of fighting. It was a big thing. So,
Yeah. Thanks for that. So, should I? Okay, so we're in the middle of voting on something. So, how about I just change the amend? Or how about I amend to pursuing a Friends of organization? And
Pretty open-ended.
as to be defined
In further discussion.
Through further discussion. Would that be reasonable? So I think we all agree we need
Okay.
some sort of friends of
Friends,
organization.
yeah.
Seconded.
All right.
All in favor?
All right.
Now can I go back?
Well, that took a long time, but I have one more.
Okay.
Hopefully this doesn't take as long.
I mean, it's 7:30, we got hours.
Yeah, we got hours. So we'll try to make this one quick. So this is also having to do with the master plan. So Amy mentioned this as well in the public comment. So she said it would be great if we, had some sort of formal opinion on this, which I agree. But I also think that I would like to have a little more information. The organization that put this together, they're not a conservation organization, right? They're not a science conservation, right? So this plan has not been reviewed by, actual scientists or conservation organizations. So I would really love to see the plan reviewed by like some legit, organizations from a conservation perspective and hear what they have to say. What does the Audubon Society say about this? What does, the Nature Conservancy say about this?
That's a good one.
So, and then I think we can make a more informed decision, right? So I just think the more information we have about this from, those sorts of organizations, the better. So I guess that would be my third, what's the word?
Ask.
My third motion, yeah, motion. Sorry, it's getting late.
Ren, you're on fire tonight.
My third motion would be to,
Poor Kathy's run out of paper.
yeah. I'm gonna try to make this fast.
Let's not amend this one, let's go for it the first time.
Well,
Hold on, think about what you want to vote
I
first.
won't amend it as long as there's no discussion about it. But hey, the motion at the end was very short, so. All right, so the motion here is to pursue conservation and scientific review of the Country Club of Woodbridge Master Plan.
And we'd like to send a letter to the Board of Selectmen to this effect if we vote on it in the
Okay.
next 24 hours.
Wait, hold on. Now you're messing up the vote again. Oh,
I know.
Sharon. I just be quiet during. Are you saying that you're notifying the Board of Selectmen
Scientific review of the Country Club.
of the
Master
vote?
Plan.
With the intention to notify them of our decision in a timely fashion.
The decision on the country club? Or the decision
on-
to contact other
Decision
organizations?
on our,
But do we, I mean,
are we
we
open?
could just do that, can't we? I mean, we're
Yeah.
trying to do our due diligence and,
That would cover that.
get the information. I don't know
What?
that we need
That
to.
would cover what you said. Reach out first. I would
No, like to,
like this. When
Notice.
you want to send letters, you have to send it through them.
no, that's if you're sending out a townwide communication, we can contact
Yeah.
conservation resources
Organizations, sure.
and organizations, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we can just do it, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't we want to let the Board of Selectmen know that this is in the works so that they might
Right.
want to utilize some of this information to make the best decision?
So are we asking for the Board of Selectmen to postpone adopting the plan until we have expert conservation organizations' input?
That's a good question.
We can always ask Andrea what she thinks about that. Or Sheila.
So these could be two separate, so maybe this is a separate motion that you want to
Okay.
make after mine?
Kathy's gonna get arthritis today.
So I think it's,
See, that
So
it
go
wasn't
back
easy
with
back.
yours, Ben,
Yeah.
say yours again.
yeah.
Hold on, in Ben's defense, it started to be easy, and then
But-
Sharon chimed in.
So the next motion, I like to
So you're trying to get third parties from other conservation groups to weigh in on
Mhm.
the Woodbridge Country Club and how binding
Master
the
plan, yes.
master plan and how, just by informational purposes, how binding, would there be any binding?
I don't think there's anything binding, but, you know, based on what, you know, Amy said, and I think I agree with her, is that it would be good if conservation had like an opinion on the plan. Like, we haven't come down and said we agree with it or we don't agree with it, or this is what we agree with, this is what we don't.
So in the process of
So-
determining that, you're saying we
Mhm.
need more real scientific information
Mhm.
so that we can have it be as backed up as possible and
Exactly,
give them
yeah.
the most
Yeah.
important.
Yep.
To help provide some confidence in the decision.
Would that require any kind of their scrutiny of any studies that have already taken place there? Or what kind of information, because normally they would have to have information gathering, so in order for them to make an assessment of what, you know,
They
would they
did.
have access, these
What-
third parties?
Oh, the third parties to evaluate the plan? I mean,
Right.
all of those studies are attached as
Okay.
resources, so we could provide that as well, you know, along with.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the details either. I mean, I think we'd have to.
No, we know the
talk to them
studies that
and-
have happened, right? Like the Forster, the Bats.
Oh, those, oh, yeah.
Those ones, but the ones that the first elected, anything that the first selectmen have, or if they- or any other, would they have privy to that? Like,
Yes,
in order
they
for
have
to
them all.
make a-
I mean, anything that's public, they definitely would.
You mean, hold on. When we're talking about a lot of theys and thems and these and thous.
Okay.
So you're not asking if the Board of Selectmen is privy to those
No, I'm asking.
You're
for this.
saying, do we have access to those other studies so that when we send over the plan, we can also provide some of the backup research that's happened regarding.
To the third parties.
Yeah,
They're going to make.
Oh, yeah.
let's say
That's what I'm talking about,
the
right.
National, I don't know, Natural Resource Defense Council. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that's who you're going to reach out to. We want to make sure when we send it to them that they have all the other
Right.
supporting documents as to how this plan was created when they review, right? To weigh in for us, to advise.
And all the tests that we've done with the bats and everything,
Yep.
we have all
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, right.
Yeah, that's all public, so,
Okay.
you know, there's no reason, anybody can have that.
So there, you know, there's survey results, there's all sorts of things that came out of that. For better or worse, surveys that,
Nobody's even brought up wetlands
And there would
this
be-
time around.
I don't know, I'm sure.
They found all kinds of things that hadn't even come up.
on the conservation, on the
On the
country club? You mean it was omitted from the most recent plan?
I,
Because I thought basically some of the areas that they were considering for conservation were
there were
specifically
some of
around,
those, okay.
were specifically around the
I
wetlands.
had not.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I read it.
So, okay,
Looked at
so
the
back to the
maps.
motion. Is there more discussion about the idea of pursuing third-party review of the plan?
No more discussion.
Do we want to vote?
Sure.
All right.
All right, so wait, hold on. You have a motion, I've seconded.
All in favor?
Kathy, I have no more motions.
Well, I want to go back to a previous thing that we discussed about how we decided.
I'm gonna close my eyes here, but I'm not going to sleep.
Me too.
Hey,
And don't forget coupon.
The lights in here
Oh,
are
that's
just
right.
so bright.
okay, so when we said we wanted to conserve, we are taking a conservation easement for the area that is not presently under development by the SLR plan. Do we also want to exclude the Country Club of Woodbridge property that I think a lot of us are more okay with having some development happen there? Or,
That's not what
okay,
we
I,
wanted to protect both right now,
Yeah.
okay.
because we don't know what they want to do with this,
Oh, Sharon.
right? I'm just helping.
No. No, but I mean, you know,
You've got
listen.
the notes, keep us honest.
You know, I think ultimately our goal, what the term was that was used was housing, right? That we didn't want housing on that parcel. wasn't necessarily 100% inclusive of development. We did say that we wanted to preserve what was there. There is a footprint of previous development that has existed that I think we had discussed as a commission before, that, you know, should development be a end-all be-all at some point in time on some point of that area of that
I mean, that could be-
parcel, it would be the area
That
that.
could be tennis courts. You
Sure.
know, that could be where the pickleball.
Yeah, no, I
courts
mean,
go, you know?
there's a
Yeah.
building there right now, right, dilapidated. But that could be the footprint, there were a couple buildings, if I understand, that could be the footprint of, you know, other rec halls or something, right? Not necessarily anything else.
Okay.
I think,
I just wanted to bring that to our awareness again so that we, you know, give a more full picture of our decision.
Clear.
Okay. Barbara, do you have any report about Coupop?
Unfortunately, I do not, because that was the night my car died.
Oh,
So I never got to
and we haven't listened to it. Okay. Does anyone have any information of what Coupop did that evening? So, maybe we should reach out. Can you go to next month's Coupop with
Yes.
your car being in shape? Okay, great.
I can give you a ride. I can give you a ride.
It wasn't even in time for me to call anybody and say, hey, I can't go. It was just sort of almost on the way.
All right, no worries. But maybe someone should reach out to Nicole and see what's going on.
Was it recorded?
Probably,
Great.
The one in November, on 24th?
yeah. It was on the 24th?
Yes.
Would you be
I
willing
can-
to
I
listen
can
to
listen
it?
to it.
Okay, that would be great, Barbara.
With some popcorn from Val.
Yes.
So, is there any more,
Oh, you did?
No, I could.
Oh, you could have.
Your notes.
any more updates from commissioners?
Wait, where are we?
We're at the very end. Other new business?
Yeah, I'm moving I was going to read my poem at the beginning, but then I was asked by our public commenters to move it to the end. So I'm going to read it now.
So, well, if you have a final thing to say, I want to give you the final say, but I did want to say.
Oh, okay.
I did want to
There
say.
it goes.
I'd
like to make a
I want
motion.
to say some nice things to our departing members. So Val and Diana are of course departing. So Val, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure working with you and serving with you. I feel like you're always good for a really great opinion on things and a lot of stuff that I really don't understand, having to do with housing and obviously you're really an expert in housing. You've been in housing for many, many years, and I think it's pretty remarkable that you talk about the things that you and your husband have done, and you guys have done yourself over many, many years what the whole state is trying to accomplish right now, and you've kind of figured stuff out. And so I think it's really remarkable, and I just want to say it was really great. My first year working the Earth Day table with you. A lot of fun doing that. So
Yeah, your surveys, your
yeah,
questionnaires.
yeah, that was a great time. So thank you.
Thank you.
And so Diana, it has also been an incredible pleasure working with you. I feel like you really always just followed and upheld the charge of the Conservation Commission, which was, to be a conservationist effectively. You've always been present. You've always been an essential part of meetings. You've always been a strong contributor. Right? You did your job exactly as you should have as a conservation member. Your passion really comes through. And you're always great for a laugh. I think your timing is in the tensest moments. Your jokes are just like key. I feel like you just have very, I always felt like when I didn't know what a good decision would be, you would always have a very clear moral, idea about what direction we should go, and I always appreciate that. So thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we piggyback on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now everyone must say nice things about me. And Val.
First Val. Val, one of the things I appreciate is your evolution of understanding what the commission's about and kind of the investment you have in the land and honoring it more and trying to balance that with your vast knowledge of housing. And I would love to see you on the housing. If I had the ability to put you on a committee, it would be the
That
housing
would be-
committee. And I think that you just
Really
know
shake
that-
them up.
but not even shake them up, you have the nuts and bolts of the
Bring them up.
Well,
reality.
that's the point.
Bring them up.
And I think
I'm
that
not sure they'd quite believe it, but
I think
Val
that
would.
it's a lot of concepts that people are saying, and I think you're a grounding force. And I actually talked to Mika about the possibility of you being on that commission. I have no idea if he's interested, but so thank you. I too have enjoyed working with you. And well, Diana, that's been great. We've had a quite
You
a.
just like me for my Word document skills.
I do love you for your Word document skills and your humor and your great ideas and your how so quick on your toes and your ability to bring concepts
Diana
together.
really knows what it's all about,
Yeah.
as opposed to some of the rest of us.
And we'll miss your knowledge base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will really miss it. It will be interesting to see how we regroup.
We're gonna need a little
Cue card?
cue card.
Yeah.
So he'll be under the table.
Sure.
During our meetings, just popping up with, say this.
I don't know if you've heard, we're going to have a Friends of organization.
Passing the call. The comedy calling to bed. It's really funny. I thank you all for those comments, and Val and I started on this commission at the same time. We were both appointed by Beth Heller, a rock star, former leader, and a she power in this town. And I was pregnant at the time that I was appointed, and so I get to measure my impact based on the lives of my children. Right? So one child is basically a full commission term right now. But I've learned from everybody on here, even the folks in the past, Joy, Paul, Tim, Kate. Yes, absolutely, Kate. Everybody, and David Lober being a great liaison for us. The residents of the town coming in to weigh in and cheer us on as we silently battle, play tennis against the drapes sometimes. It feels like sometimes it feels like a message that isn't being heard, it's being shouted into the dark. But you are the light, and we have a lot of jobs to do around town in various areas, but this is a really important one. My love for conservation started with one of the founders of the MAG program at Beecher, Mr. Burness, teaching us everything, allowing us to explore topics that were important to the students in the second grade class, bring to our morning meetings, and pursue environmental topics of concern. So really this is something that's inherent within the community itself. And I think the momentum has started. People are paying attention, and in the next few years that you're all on here, you will have a lot of support behind you. And I'll continue to support in whatever capacity that may be. And it's just been great. Thank you for blindly joining the commission.
Yes.
I had no idea what you were doing. And Val for being, honestly, Sharon said grounding, and honestly, you anchored us in when we needed to know more about housing, or we were flailing about something with property and what is this rating and what is this ranking. And you were like spot on with your knowledge that was just beautiful. And Barbara has like the history in her mind of every single parcel, I swear, town. you know, just your knowledge and your value and sharing everything that you bring and your, you know, your wisdom and your experience and your calm, collaborative approach has been great. But also the phone calls and the text messages and the voice to text messages that always leave us asking, what are you saying?
I just
Go ahead.
You know, this was when I moved to Woodbridge. I think I've said this before. My life is in New Haven. My church is there. My organizations are there. And then I decided I said, let me just get involved with my youngest daughter graduated from college. And when they called me and they said, what do you want to get on? I thought I was just getting on this really lame committee that was, you know, innocuous, didn't have any, I thought, I'll go on conservation. Little did I know that, you know, it would become what it became. But that was because of the leadership that we have. And we had some very strong leaders, and I'm so proud that you stuck by your guns and you were out there and you just kept at it. And and that's the kind of person kind of like I am as well. And I just really appreciate both of you for your courage. Everyone doesn't have courage, and I just really appreciate you for that. You know, I thought my husband really was a better fit because he's on the trails every other day, literally. And I just want to say that there are people who love the trails. And my husband is one of them. And so, as I said, I think I am going to join the Democratic Party. I am a Democrat, but I've never been part of that party because I think that's where everything is coming from. And maybe we can meet in the middle. Maybe I can tell them, like, put a little bit more insight because I just don't think we're all connecting. And it's too bad, but I think there's a lot of good people, very, very good people, very, very good people, and literally on both sides. And I think some are a little bit misguided as to, you know, here I am sitting down hearing my history, and this is why we're doing this. And I don't agree with it. Yeah, the history was true, but there's different ways of handling things. And so that's why I think I'm going to do that, and maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere. So if you see me working there, it's so that we can kind of make some better connections and better understandings as to what is, you know, going on and what is the best position for, you know, Woodbridge.
Well,
So-
you have our support. I
Yeah.
think that's really great.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that, but I just really enjoyed working here. I enjoyed you ladies, it bit, I enjoyed you. You're the only people I really know in Woodbridge. I'm not joking on anybody else.
Well, now we can all meet together and it won't be a quorum. We don't have to take notes. So,
I
I
just
mean,
wanted to
Good
say.
idea.
That's great.
I do want to give a shout out to Kathy for
Yes, for all her effort and diligence.
kindly guiding
And
us
putting
towards
it
the clock.
Our agendas.
And Nick and crew for recording. Not falling asleep behind the camera sometimes. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to read excerpts from The Right to Dream by Eduardo Galeano. He wrote this in 1995, and it was, who knows, this is something that our new pastor over at First Church, Andrew Wicks, he's wonderful. If you haven't come over to see him, regardless of what your religious background is, he's really fun to listen to, and it resonates a lot with what's going on in our community these days. So he reads this poem from The Right to Dream by Eduardo Galeano, written in 1995, and it was about what he thought what the year 2025 would look like. So he said, who knows how the world will be in 2025? We cannot guess how the world will be, but we can imagine the world we would like. The right to dream is not one of the United Nations 30 human rights, but if we didn't have the right to dream, or the water it gives us to drink, then the other rights would die of thirst. So let me invent the future here. The upside down world turns the right way up. In streets, dogs will run over cars. There will be no air pollution. The only poison will be from human fear and human passions. Television will stop being the most important member of the family. The boys who didn't want to do military service will not be arrested. People will work to live, not live to work. No illness will be called mortal because life is mortal. Economists will not confuse the standard of living with how much people buy, and they will not confuse the quality of life with the quantity of things. Historians will not believe that countries enjoy it when other countries invade them. Politicians will not believe it that the poor enjoy eating very bad food. No one will treat street kids badly because there won't be street kids. And no one will treat rich kids like money because there won't be rich kids. Education will not be only for the people who can pay for it. Police control will not be only for the people who cannot buy it. There will be no difference between legal and natural children because we are all natural. And the church, this is why I love this. This is my favorite part. The church will also say there is an 11th commandment, which God forgot. You will love nature because you belong to it. And I think we do. So, take it or leave it, but thanks for giving me the right to dream. Any other comments? Mic drop?
Well, we'll go forth, and are we ready to adjourn the meeting? I so move, with great thanks to people who've contributed so much these 2 years.
Yes.
You got it. Break a leg.
Joy, too.
Good night.